The tomboy trend is daring, edgy, and beautiful. Do you know where it came from? Gender identity is becoming more fluid, but the tomboy trend still remains to this day. Find out how edgy haircuts, oversized clothes, and pants became the way for fashionable women to really make a statement. If you do a Google Images search for tomboy trend today, you'll get a long list of fashionable, androgynous women who express themselves through their outfits. But the tomboy term wasn't always used to describe one of our favorite fashion trends. When we were kids, the word tomboy was used to describe rough and tumble girls who like to play outside, sports, and, in other words, hang with the boys. The word goes as far back as the 16th century, so that's the 1500s. It was used to refer to boys who were brash, boisterous, self-assured, and rude. But in the 1590s, people started using the word to describe girls who were wild and outgoing, girls who acted how boys were supposed to act at the time. The term has developed into one of our favorite fashion trends, and if we look at the original definition of the word and focus on being self-assured, it has really translated over to the tomboy look. Women who rock the tomboy trend are self-assured, expressive, and love to go against the grain. They'd rather leave the dresses and flowy gowns at home and instead rock pants, power suits, and accessories that make a statement. This is not to say that they don't wear dresses or aren't feminine, but they embrace the fact that they can do it all when it comes to fashion and don't put themselves in a box. Many critics say tomboyism has a past riddled with gender and race issues, and while the word has morphed over the years, taking on different meanings and intentions, today it's defined simply as a girl who likes doing things that are traditionally considered to be things that boys enjoy. Gender identities and gender norms are being challenged more and more, and in today's society, the focus is on gender fluidity and acceptance. So while we love this trend, we wouldn't be surprised if it takes on a new name sometime in the future. In the 1800s, being a tomboy was thought to be good for future health, and therefore good for giving birth. Because of a declining birth rate, an 1873 news article said, "Allow a girl to be as tomboyish as her inclinations lead her to be. Let her ride, drive, row, swim, run, climb fences, and even trees if she has a mind to. She is only laying the foundation for future good health." Before this movement, women were wearing restrictive clothing and didn't exercise much, and there was a fear that they wouldn't be able to reproduce. Again, there were race issues tied up there, but nevertheless, women were being encouraged to exercise and be more free. Today, the tomboy is an icon in popular culture. So many of our favorite celebrities have embraced this trend, from Cara Delevingne to Madonna and even Rihanna. But did you know that the tomboys started showing up in pop culture as early as the 1800s? In the novel The Hidden Hand from 1859, the main character is a tomboy who cuts her hair and dresses up as a boy to escape a life of poverty. You may not have realized it, but there have been a lot of tomboys hiding in popular culture over the years. Remember Rugrats? Baby Lil was a twin who was just as rowdy as her twin brother. They both had the same interests, and she was never afraid to get her hands dirty. How about 10 Things I Hate About You? Julia Stiles' character, Katarina Stratford, wanted to play soccer, stay away from lame high school guys, and go to college. She was a complete rebel who knew what she wanted. The ultimate tomboy was Viola from She's the Man. Amanda Bynes' character also just wanted to play soccer. When her school's team got cut, she had to dress up like her twin brother to play soccer at his boarding school while he was in Europe. Even after her team finds out that she's actually a girl, she makes the game-winning goal against her mean ex-boyfriend. Also, she didn't want to be a debutante. Her character did what she wanted regardless of gender stereotypes. Tomboys even show how strong and independent women can be through animated pop culture. Mulan was 100% relatable when things didn't go her way at the matchmaker's house. Pretty reminiscent of endless swiping on Tinder. Mulan couldn't pretend that she was the type of girl everyone expected her to be. Instead, she showed the men that she was strong, tough, and could take care of herself. When it comes to fashion and bold outfits, the tomboy trend really started taking off in the 1920s, also known as the Roaring Twenties. This era really saw the term tomboy move from little girls being rough and tumble to classy women adding versatility to their wardrobes. Fresh bobs and oversized jackets, women in the 1920s were turning heads by adopting a look called le garçon. Garçon in French means boy, while le garçon means tomboyish. Sophisticated and pushing boundaries, these fashionistas were androgynous with their dresses tailored tailored to look like suits, ties, and high-waist trousers. A lot of the looks that originated during this period are still super popular today, and we regularly see these looks on the runways at Paris Fashion Week and on the red carpet at major fashion events like the Met. So, who made the tomboy trend so popular? Many people credit Coco Chanel with popularizing this comfortable, edgy style. Chanel was a trailblazer when it comes to the tomboy style. She freed women of lace, frills, and corsets and made sailor shirts and wide-leg pants the new staple. She once said, "Nothing is more beautiful than freedom of the body," which brings us back to the original tomboy definition, feeling comfortable and free to move. Coco Chanel was born in 1883. During this time, French high society women only wore skirts and were expected to act and look ladylike. Chanel, though, loved wearing pants and was known to borrow her boyfriend's suits. Early in her career, she started making trousers for women. Women obviously wanted this because before she knew it, trousers were a staple for all young, stylish women. Her creation of yachting pants was groundbreaking for the fashion industry. Many people say that if it wasn't for Coco Chanel, women would still be wearing dresses and skirts, and only dresses and skirts. Now, why were they called yachting pants? At first, yachting pants were really wide and almost resembled a skirt. They were really light fabric and looked kind of like pajamas. Women wore them to the beach and on boats, and they were super comfortable to wear and pair with a knitted cardigan. Chanel is also known for her famous tweed jacket. The famous fabric used in the Chanel jacket was inspired by menswear, but also by an actual man. Chanel was dating the Duke of Westminster when she came up with this iconic piece. After wearing his jacket, she realized how comfortable it was and how beautiful the fabric would look on a woman. Boy, was she right! The Chanel tweed jacket has stood the test of time, and it's still just as sophisticated and elegant today, almost a whole century after its creation. Who doesn't love the Breton top? After taking a trip to the French coast, Chanel was inspired by sailors' uniforms and immediately incorporated stripes into her 1917 collection. Again, this trend transcends generations because this top is still popular today. Over the years, we've seen fashion icons like Brigitte Bardot, Edie Sedgwick, Audrey Hepburn, Jane Birkin, and Alexa Chung rock this daring trend. This top single-handedly changed casual wear for years to come. We can't talk about Chanel's iconic items and not bring up the boy bag. The famous Chanel boy bag was inspired by one of her biggest muses, the love of her life, Boy Capel. Captain Arthur Edward Boy Capel was an English polo player who Chanel loved with all of her heart. Karl Lagerfeld paid tribute to him with the boy bag. The bag is bold in shape, has heavy hardware, and a unique lock, and has become one of the most sought-after bags. You probably didn't realize what an influence Chanel had on the way you live your life. In February of 1955, the iconic 2.55 bag was introduced to skepticism by women who were used to carrying around a clutch. The quilted bag had straps so that high society women could free their hands. The shoulder strap would revolutionize the fashion industry forever. It's easy to see now how iconic items created in the early 1900s have survived time. The tomboy term and trend has been borrowed over the years and represented much more than just fashion. The women's liberation movement started in the 1970s and saw advertising agencies take the tomboy label and amplify it, using it to sell products. If you grew up in the 70s, you would have seen a commercial for Stay Free maxi pads, showing a young blonde woman wearing hiking boots, khaki shorts, and a plaid shirt climbing up a hill with a man. The ad suggests that women can have their periods but still hang with the guys. At its very core, the tomboy symbol today represents the struggle for gender representation across the spectrum, and that shines through in this trend, empowering women and trans people to express exactly who they are and wear what they want without the fear of being judged. Choosing to go against the grain and embrace your inner tomboy has always set women apart, and the fact that this trend has not only lived on but become a part of popular culture really says something about traditional gender norms. Over the years, the tomboy trend has become synonymous with elegance, and the embodiment of that is Lauren Hutton, one of the top models of her time. She made authenticity and ease in fashion what she was known for, and inspired a whole generation of women to dress in what made them look and feel good. The model is 77 years old today, but in 1964, when she was 22 years old and modeling for the likes of Richard Avedon, she was famous for her borrowed from the boys aesthetic. The model was on the cover of Vogue 27 times, and she made it an even more commonplace for women to mix masculine pieces into their wardrobes. Lauren pioneered so many styles, including the one simple button look. If you're wearing a blazer and you only do up the middle button, you have Lauren to thank for this. This look gives the slightest shape without making it too flared. She also wears neutral, muted colors, sometimes from head to toe. She's also known to opt for t-shirts instead of collared shirts under her suits to make this look slightly more relaxed and casual. She also somehow has managed to make a bucket hat look like it belongs on the runway. She's known to pair fedoras and bucket hats with long trench coats and flat boots for a really chic look reminiscent of a 1920s man. Another icon inspired by the likes of Coco Chanel was the iconic rebel Katherine Hepburn. When Katherine was 9 years old, she shaved her head and wore her older brother's clothes. In an interview with Barbara Walters in the 80s, she said, "I had a phase as a child when I wished I was a boy because I thought boys had all the fun." She even wanted people to call her Jimmy. Her decision to wear pants more than 50 years ago still sets her apart to this day. Her style was remembered as gender-bending and iconic by Vanity Fair when they unpacked her contributions to fashion on her 109th birthday. In the interview with Barbara Walters, Hepburn said, "I put on pants 50 years ago and declared a sort of middle road." Katherine was introduced to the world in 1932 in the film A Bill of Divorcement. The movie's director, George Cukor, said of her performance and presence, "The audience had never seen a girl like that. She seemed to bark at them. She didn't play for sympathy at all. At first, the audience wasn't quite sure whether it liked her or not." Throughout her career, she was described as too masculine or too rough, and casting directors found it hard to cast her opposite leading men. Director Dorothy Arzner said that Katherine wasn't someone you could mold easily, that you could control. Today, we call this being a strong woman and standing up for who you are. While this way of thinking is becoming more and more mainstream, can you imagine what it would have been like in the 1930s? Many of the directors who remember Katherine say that she was strong and she was constantly being coached to be softer. This translated into her fashion. In the early 1930s, it was actually illegal for women to wear pants in public, and they could be arrested for masquerading as men. Katherine had such an influence on style at the time that women who dared to wear pants were called Hepburns. A 1934 article from Hollywood magazine called Hollywood Goes Hepburn wrote, "Revolution has hit the Hollywood ranks, revolution of a startling new order, and Katie Hepburn did it with her little overalls and hatchet." Facing a lot of backlash for her bold fashion choices, Katherine would wear jeans to the studio, and in an effort to get her to wear skirts, production workers would take her jeans and hide them. So what did Katherine do? She would return in her underwear and refuse to wear anything until her jeans were returned. What a tactic! It's women like Katherine Hepburn, Lauren Hutton, and Coco Chanel that have inspired the women who embrace the tomboy trend today. One of the most famous rebels of our time really embodied the teachings of the women who came before her. When Madonna released the music video for Lucky Star in 1983, where she donned a tomboy street kid look that everyone at the time became obsessed with, she wore black on black with metal accessories, black shorts, and a black tank top. The look was so punk rock, it inspired a generation of women who dressed more like the men who embraced the punk rock scene. With her thick eyebrows and short pixie cut, Madonna lived the tomboy lifestyle and showed women that there was nothing wrong with expressing yourself through fashion. British model Cara Delevingne has taken the tomboy trend to the next level. She mixes aspects of this trend with her androgynous look to turn heads everywhere she goes. Cara's hair, eyebrows, and look is edgy, comfy, and embodies the tomboy essence. Remember when she wore tartan trousers and a black crop top to the Burberry Spring-Summer 2018 show in September? She looked just like a rock star. The model famously has a sneaker collection to die for, John Lennon sunglasses, and a sophisticated look inspired by so many icons. She is known for her tailored pantsuits, casual but daring street looks, and her ability to perfectly mix masculine pieces with more feminine pieces to achieve a truly unique look. Twilight star Kristen Stewart has been called the Queen of Cool. Her effortless style always looks comfy, cool, and collected. A nod to the tomboy OG, Kristen has a penchant for Chanel gowns, but also loves to rock a Converse sneaker and oversized suit. She is considered one of the most rebellious dressers in Hollywood and has even gone barefoot at press conferences. We're getting serious Katherine Hepburn vibes. She's been described as a high-fashion tomboy, and we have to say we couldn't couldn't think of better words to describe the actress. When she's not on a red carpet or on set of a movie, she's known for her skinny jeans, white t-shirts, and leather jackets. Today, the tomboy trend has become commonplace. Skinny jeans, t-shirts, fitted jackets, and boots are all items you'll see all year round. The look is versatile, comfortable, and yet still elegant. If Coco Chanel were with us today, she would be proud of our willingness to be different and express our individuality through fashion. The tomboy trend has remained a trend through decades, and it's always been a way for women to show that they can't be put in a box. Today, you'll recognize the tomboy trend coming through in capsule wardrobes. Capsule wardrobes are made out of casual pieces that are fail-safe. You'll find collared shirts, jeans, trench coats, jackets, tailored jackets, running shoes, flats, boyfriend bags, and muted colors in capsule wardrobes. Oh, how far we've come in 100 years. Today, these tomboy pieces are common, and that's a huge win for gender norms and gender equality when it comes to fashion. This begs the question, should we just lose the term tomboy? Maybe, but let's keep the fashion. Are you a fan of the tomboy look? Let us know in the comment section below. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to the Taco for all your latest celebrity, fashion, and entertainment videos. And we'll see you again next time.